My ex-husband cheated on me with my sister. And 6 years later, he wrote me a letter. I'm 33 years old now. When I was 18, I met my ex-husband Dan. He's 40 now, at the restaurant where I was celebrating my birthday. He was charming, kind, and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My parents constantly fought. Sometimes, my father would leave for months at a time. He died when my sister Abby was born. She's 25 now. From the moment Abby was born, my mom was overly attached to her, not me. Abby was spoiled from day one. Mom didn't neglect me. She tried to be a good mother and provided for me. But I still felt like something was missing. When Dan came into my life, that feeling disappeared. He was supportive and caring. He constantly gave me gifts and took me on long drives. I felt whole when I was with him. After 4 years of dating, we got married. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan insisted I finish my master's degree and build a career first. He wanted us to be financially stable before having kids. Honestly, he was the best man I could imagine. After 5 years of a happy marriage, I found out he was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered it when Dan made up an excuse to leave town for a week, but he actually stayed in the city and rented a hotel room where he and Abby met. It had been going on behind my back for 6 months. I was devastated. Abby and I had always been close. I loved her and took care of her. How could she do this to me? After I found out, Dan and I fought. I asked him how he could do such a thing, especially with my sister, who had just turned 19. He said he didn't love me anymore, that I didn't give him enough attention, and that I wasn't the same girl he fell in love with. Amid all of this, I discovered I was pregnant, but the stress caused me to miscarry. Dan didn't even visit me in the hospital. He was with my sister while I lost our child. I should have seen the signs. Abby was always too affectionate with Dan, and sometimes Dan looked at her in a way that unsettled me. It's still painful. As usual, my mom took Abby's side and told me to accept it. I wanted to leave town because I felt like I had no one left. I lost my child, my husband, and my entire family. But my best friend Tina, my saving grace, stepped in. She was moving to another state and invited me to join her. I agreed. By that time, I was already divorced. We lived in a small town, so of course I still ran into Dan and Abby. It took time to settle into the new place, but I met kind people who helped me heal. I still have trust issues. A year after moving, I met my current husband, Tony. He's 32. I was cautious and guarded, but he proved he deserved my trust and loved me deeply. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot the life I left behind. His parents were welcoming and generous. We got married a year ago. Now, I'm pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I received a letter from Dan. It brought back all the bad memories. I'm paraphrasing, but he wrote that he missed me and tried to find me, but couldn't. Things aren't going well with Abby. She's immature and doesn't take care of him like I did. I baked cakes and planned his birthdays. Abby just sent him a text and didn't even bother getting a cake. Plus, she's rude and disrespectful. She's always at the bar with her friends. He mentioned she cheated on him 5 times, the last affair being with his cousin. Even our mom doesn't stop her. He's planning to file for divorce, but says he misses me. He wants us to get back together, to be a family again. Since I don't have social media except for a private Instagram, he probably doesn't know I'm married and expecting. I don't know if I should feel sorry for him or laugh. Turns out the grass isn't greener on the other side. I decided to write him back to end it once and for all. Here's what I wrote. Dan, I'm sorry to hear you're suffering. but I will never be with you again. I used to be the girl who would have taken you back without hesitation, but that girl died the day I miscarried. You were with my sister, and I called you, but you never picked up. I'm now married to a wonderful man who loves and values me, and I'm expecting our first child. I'm starting a new chapter with someone I love and care about deeply. Please don't contact me again. You made your choice. You chose my barely adult sister over me. I don't care if she cheats or disrespects you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty or respect. I left my old life behind. You should move on and reflect on your life. You're just an insecure man, afraid of aging, thinking a younger woman would make your life better. Goodbye. He replied within an hour. He said he was foolish to believe I would wait for him, and that he would always wait for me, because I would always be his baby girl. It disgusted me. He used to call me that, but now it makes me sick. I also got letters from my mom and Abby. Mom congratulated me and was thrilled to become a grandmother. Abby said she'd be the cool aunt. I couldn't believe they said that. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them. They betrayed me. I cried for hours. It feels like we were both manipulated by Dan. I feel so foolish. I know I shouldn't be angry at Abby, but she was old enough to know having an affair with my husband was wrong. I blocked all of them. I'm 5 months pregnant. I don't need extra stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me, then took me out for ice cream. I hope I can get through this. The letter from Dan hit me like a ton of bricks. Memories of everything he did resurfaced. I received 2 more emails from Mom and Abby hours later. I have no idea how they found out about my pregnancy. I keep a low profile and haven't posted any bump photos. I only use Instagram to keep up with friends. It scared me. I burst into tears. Thankfully, Tony was there to hold me. Tony reassured me we're hundreds of miles away. We're on the other side of the country. It took 2 scoops of ice cream to calm me down. I told him I was afraid they'd try to see my baby. He said he'd talk to his uncle, a cop, to stay vigilant. A commenter suggested I warn daycare, but we aren't planning to send her to one. I'll quit my job to focus on recovery and the baby. I have savings and will return to work when she grows. My in-laws are wonderful and live nearby. Tina and Tony have practically adopted me. I don't know what the future holds, but at least I'm surrounded by good people now. I'm signing off to enjoy being pampered by my husband. My ex, sister, and mom are blocked.